by the power of Grayskull.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to A&J Hot Takes. I am Andre.
I am Joe.
And we have to do this. Today, we're talking about Masters of the Universe.
Yes. You may sense some hesitation here, which
Yep.
we'll get into as to why.
This is the one episode I was not looking forward to. But here we are.
Yes.
All right, Masters of the Universe. I guess dive straight into it.
Yeah, I'm going to be quite honest. I remember seeing the cartoons as a kid. I don't remember much. I do remember the 80s movie with Dolph Lundgren. For what it was at the time, it was a hit. I thought it was cheesy as hell. But, hey, you had Dolph Lundgren kicking ass. So why not, right?
I remember He-Man as a cartoon, watching it. Like, I didn't watch it from beginning to end. I watched a couple episodes. It was good for the time. The movie, yeah, I did enjoy that. Dolph is always great in whatever he's in. Like, I just like Dolph.
So you have not seen Robots vs. Zombies or whatever that Dolph...
Dude, I have. But it's Dolph.
Oh,
Like, for some reason, for me, Dolph just, he brings it and elevates whatever movie. So it might have been a bad movie, but it's Dolph.
yeah. But I guess that gets into getting right into the first gripe or hot take I got on it, that the main character playing He-Man doesn't look He-Man enough.
That is very true.
Yes, where is this generation's Arnold's and Dolph's and the big bulky guys that can just swing an axe or a sword like nobody's business? You know, you don't care that he can't wipe his butt.
Like one time we want steroids. Give us steroids.
Yes, we get this pretty boy that I guess he fulfills the role, but he's no Conan.
Like, I get it. He is defined. Like, you can see his muscles and everything. But when you talk about He-Man and you look at the cartoons, this is not it.
Right.
There's just something missing. There's juice missing in here. And it does go into my hot take, where I like the costumes.
Yes.
The costumes are great. For all the characters except one. I'll get into that a little bit, but everybody else, I do feel that, they portray their characters well. Even Jared Leto looks good. Not gonna deny that.
Well, I don't think it's Jared Leto in the Skeletor costume. Spoiler alert.
Oh, you don't think?
I don't think. I think he just does the voice, but...
Oh.
But, well, I could be wrong. I have not checked IMDb. This is not... When I heard it was announced, it's like, okay, this could be interesting. And then I saw the trailer. I was like, all right, I'll watch it when it comes on TV.
Okay. Well, so the one character that I do have a problem with is Cringer.
Okay.
So Cringer, for those that don't know, is He-Man's cat. When he's in cat form, amazing. I feel that they did a very good job. But when He-Man transforms, Cringer gets his armor. He gets into...
like a saber-toothed beast.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. If anybody remembers in the cartoons, he had this huge helmet and armor.
Mm-hmm.
And in the trailer, you see him with his armor, but it's like a smallish armor. It's more of like a patty, kind of. So I was expecting that transformation and seeing like a big shield helmet kind of stuff.
Right.
Was not getting it.
What I was not getting from the trailer is the grittiness. Every scene looked Star Wars prequel, shiny and new, and doesn't look like in the midst of a civil battle or under the rule of Skeletor's empire, to say.
So I do agree with you where it does look shiny and new, but for me, it actually does look nice. Like when I was watching the trailer and I saw like the different places that they go, like for me, like the scenery, cinematography, like all that was actually really beautiful. And that's like the only thing that I have that I can say I'm excited for He-Man.
Was there flying ships in the cartoons?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I always remember them walking around and doing shit.
No,
the cartoons.
He-Man was like advanced technology, but they were also like Silver Age kind of armor and stuff.
They got laser blasters, but he's running around in leather underwear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was the 80s for you.
You got a dude ruling the kingdom that looks like the Mummy, you know? But again, I think a lot of my memories are polluted by the far superior Thundercats, which unfortunately, which unfortunately, Mumra, the main villain there, was scared away by his own reflection.
I am Mumra.
Thundercats, oh!
Yep. The one thing, and going back to the scenery, something that just clicked for me, it reminds me a lot of the worlds in Thor Love and Thunder.
Okay.
Where they look very fictitious, but it looks very beautiful.
Right.
I got that feel of Love and Thunder. So Love and Thunder for me is a love-hate movie.
Right.
There were things that I'm like, oh, really? This is what you chose to do? But when it comes to visuals, it had a lot of beautiful worlds, a lot of beautiful CGI, and there are others we don't talk about. But
just so interesting that you'd go to a movie which many consider one of the
I
lowest
know,
points
right?
of the MCU.
But are you gonna disagree with me? Where yes, there was that one scene with I forgot his name, his son, the one that sees everything.
Oh, Heimdall's son.
Heimdall, thank you. Yes, so that one scene with Heimdall's son, that was horrible. But everything else, when it comes to just place that they are, I feel like that CGI worked.
Okay.
If you look at it from afar, it looks good. If you close up, like how they did with Heimdall's son, that's where everything starts to fall. So I feel Masters of the Universe is kind of that. Look at it from afar, it looks beautiful, it looks nice.
Well, to contrast that, I would say people aren't going to the movies to watch the scenery. They're going to see He-Man because they have not gotten a He-Man movie in years.
I have to disagree. Look at Avatar. Avatar, the whole 3D TVs was because of Avatar.
Yeah, that's fine and all, but I'm not buying Avatar just to make it look pretty on my TV.
But people bought TVs to watch Avatar.
To watch the Smurfs doing Pocahontas in space.
Yeah, exactly. That's what people want.
Yeah.
But like,
sorry, James Cameron, but that's exactly what you did.
True. But for me, that's kind of what I do enjoy in my movies. I like the plot, but I also do enjoy the visuals. Like, if I'm going to a movie theater and I'm sitting down, I don't expect a lot of like close-ups. Like, give me sceneries, give me environments, give me beauty. I want that because I can't replicate what I'm watching in a movie theater in my house, right? I can't have that huge screen that you get in a movie theater.
Not with that attitude.
True. I need money for that.
Yeah.
But, like, to be honest, like, if you're going to the movies, that's why IMAX was invented. Yeah. IMAX gives you a wider screen.
No, I get all that. I mean, case in point, the first Dune with Willy Wonka as Paul Atreides, visually it was stunning. Everything looked beautiful. But to me, the story sucked. You know, I'd rather watch David Lynch's early 80s version because it had the visuals and it had the story. And for somebody who's not going to read the long ass books, it was perfect. It gave me everything I needed to be engaged. I'm not going to be engaged just because it looks pretty.
Again, I'm not saying the movie was good. I'm just saying if I'm going to watch a movie that sucks, at least give me something that I'm going to enjoy.
Okay, but again, the only thing that the very first teaser that came out, I was like, what is this? And then they showed Grayskull Castle. I was like, oh, okay. But then, like, that was the only thing I recognized. I didn't recognize anything else.
I wouldn't say I didn't recognize everything else. There were some elements where you're like, oh, okay, this is He-Man. I don't know, just the trailer itself did not portray what the 80s cartoons did. I don't know if they're gonna do, I get it, He-Man, he's not buff. I just don't know if with what they have, they can make it work.
Right.
It feels like the movie is gonna fall short. Yes, they have a lot of visuals, CGI stuff. It looks beautiful, but that feeling of He-Man watching those cartoons 9 o'clock in the morning, you're not gonna get that with this movie.
Right. And I don't think it's coming out at a weird time, because I believe its failure, if it does fail, is due to being a victim of where DC and the MCU lie right now. They have not necessarily polluted, but influenced other filmmakers and other franchises to the point where they want to capture that same success by trying to do that formula. But I don't think that formula works on something that's already been established with a hit cartoon from the 80s.
Oh, heck no. There's no way you can translate that type of formula for those movies into those cartoons, because it's totally different.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but what I got from the trailer is that he finds the main guy who's He-Man finds the sword in a comic book shop, and I don't know if it's his real sword or a mock-up, but it leads to believe that there's somebody writing like He-Man cartoons, and he's like, "That's my life. What are you? That's the history of my people. Like, how did you come across this?"
It does come across that way. I don't like that it's, again, I don't remember much about He-Man's story.
Right.
So I don't think He-Man was, his people were attacked and he went to like a different planet.
Right.
And was raised and then eventually got into He-Man.
Reverse Superman.
Yeah, I feel like that wasn't the story. I might be wrong. Correct us if we are wrong in the comments. But I feel like He-Man's story was different.
Right. For me, there was nothing that in the trailer that really hooked me in and said like, oh, I really got to see this. I want to know more about this. Again, because of other successes of the other franchises I mentioned, I don't know if we're ready for an origin story for a new franchise, if they're actually going to do an origin story, if they're going to try to fill what could have been an excellent Netflix series that lasted 10 episodes into a 2-hour movie. There's going to be a lot of lost in translation, I think.
So you feel this movie should have been a Netflix show?
It probably could have, and I think, I'm trying to think, I think there was a Masters of the Universe cartoon that came out and then immediately shifted the focus away from He-Man and followed like the side characters. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, people, but I think it could have worked probably better as a live action show. And then if that was successful, then make a movie and then keep it as movies. Keep that interest going with where you don't have to explain everything. It's just He-Man kicking ass. Well, whatever, whether it be Skeletor or any other, I can't think of any other villains he had, literally.
Yeah, no, the biggest one is Skeletor. That's the only one that comes to mind. Do you feel we're gonna see She-Ra?
If they're putting the all their eggs in a basket, then probably yes. She'll either be somebody that they're rescuing in the movie, or she'll be teased heavily towards the end. Kind of Supergirl was teased at the end of Superman.
That's exactly what I was gonna ask you. If it was gonna be kind of like Superman, where we get a full-fledged Superman hero movie, but then at the end you get Supergirl, and that teases, okay, Supergirl is coming.
Right.
Do you think they might go that route with He-Man and get She-Ra at the end, or maybe towards the middle?
I think they will, and it'll probably be either at the beginning of the third act or towards the end, just a little taste like we got with Supergirl, which I think in James Gunn I trust was an excellent way to introduce that character in Superman. You got a taste of it. You instantly knew her attitude just in the 3 lines that she had, and you're just like, I want to know more about this chick.
100%. All right.
Thanks for watching my dog, bitch. But yeah, I mean, again, I like Thundercats more than Masters of the Universe, so it begs to differ. Like, it begs the question, why are we getting Masters of the Universe before a Thundercats movie?
So on that note, sounds like you would have preferred a Thundercats movie
Yeah.
over He-Man. What other 80s cartoons do you think should be made into movies today?
Well, it's funny because a lot of them have been made, and I, again, watched them as kids. I know very little about what I watched as a kid, but then turned into movies. Didn't care for them all that much. It was G.I. Joe, the first movie, which I thought was horrible. I never even got around to watching the second one.
No.
Then there was Transformers, which, sorry, but who was the kid?
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
The movie focused on him rather than actual Autobots and Decepticons, and it was like, what the hell, people? Get rid of them already. What
Yeah,
else?
I do have to agree where with Transformers, they focus too much on the human side. And if you look at the cartoons, yes, they are human characters, but they weren't the main focus. The main focus was always the Transformers, the war for Cybertron, and all that. So they could have done the same exact thing. And also, I did not like the design of the Transformers in those movies.
Yeah, it was a little overly too complicated.
Yes.
Inspector Gadget had 2 movies, and that failed. I think the only thing that really survived initially into movies was Teenage Mutant Ninja.
Yes.
The first 2 movies are great, even though they watered down the violence in the second movie. It was still a good movie.
Yeah, I would have to agree. The one movie that I would love to see, and it is not a 80s, I would have to double check. I'm not sure if it is a 80s cartoon. I think it is more 90s. Do you remember Gargoyles, a cartoon?
Yes, and there was a movie made. Funny, there was a Gargoyles movie in the 70s, which was a pure horror movie, and I don't know if that's what inspired the cartoons, but I hear the cartoons were pretty deep and had some really messed up storylines. I heard there is a movie being talked about with Jordan Peele, but that was a few years ago, and I don't know where it's gone.
Okay.
Yeah, Gargoyles would have been fantastic.
For me, that's the one that I'm like waiting. It's like, bring that to live action. That's gotta be epic, because they did go very dark in some of their episodes. Some of their storyline was pretty dark. So that is something I could see coming. And I feel the people that watched it are old enough that you don't have to do a Gargoyles PG.
Right.
Like, go full dark. Just dive into it.
But where's the line crossing there? Because I'll throw a movie out there to consider, Where the Wild Things Are. A live action take on a children's book that I felt went way too far into the dark side of what the lighthearted kids book was all about.
Well, but here's the thing, because yes, Gargoyles did have that childish theme sometimes, but it had its dark. Yes, you can find that balance, but I don't want it watered down. Like, if Gargoyles was bold enough to do something, do it. Do it today. And if you have to go a little bit darker, that's fine. I'm not asking for something that's rated R or mature. Have the balls to do it and go into what was the essence of Gargoyle.
So in essence, you think they may be playing it too safe with this new movie?
Here's the contrast. I don't think He-Man was ever dark. I think it was something reminiscent to what Superman is, of that shining light. So it's very kind of safe.
I would say, with that comparison, Superman and the comics and some of the shows back then were more about morality questions. That's why kids watch them, because they're cartoons and stuff. But parents approve because they handled questions about what would you do in that situation.
Yeah.
Doing good always triumphs over doing something bad.
Exactly. That is exactly how I see it.
But again, I just don't know with this movie, especially with, we've already said, Jared Leto being in it. I don't like the guy as a person. He's got some good music with his band. I fault him for portraying the worst Joker out there.
Yes.
He was half at fault for the failure of Mobius, the vampire in the MCU. Well, before it was in the MCU. Anything he touches is just, he has his own take and pull on it, and he's already come out publicly to say his performance as Skeletor was not the best.
And that's the thing. I feel Jared Leto, when he is given a role, he makes it his own.
He's a method actor. He engulfs himself in the character. I've heard stories of when he played the Joker in Batman v Superman. I think that's where he shows up. No.
Yeah, it is in Batman.
No, Suicide Squad.
He shows in Suicide Squad as well.
So he would prank his co-stars by sending them like dead rats and use tampons and prank call them in the middle of the night. It was just weird. For Mobius, he played a cripple for first part of the movie, and he stayed in character even when the cameras were rolling. So when he needed a bathroom break, they said it would take him like 40 minutes to get to the restroom and back because he'd be in his crutches, moving like an old man. Yeah. And then I think they publicly blamed him for the failure of the latest Tron movie, which he funded because he wanted it to be about him. And yeah, boo.
All right. Well, watch or not.
I say save your money. Probably catch this once it's on HBO or something. I don't know who owns that studio, but unless you're a diehard fan, and just prove me wrong. But I'd say no. Unfortunately, I don't see this succeeding.
I would have to agree. I'm gonna say a not on this. If you can watch it on any streaming services, I would say that's the way to go. Maybe for some nostalgia factor, but not worth paying to see it at the movies.
Right. Although, fun fact, I don't know if many people know this about the original movie with Dolph Lundgren. He barely knew enough English to do his lines in that movie. So even though he played the part, they had ensured him that his character would be dubbed in post-production. Unfortunately, they ran out of budget, and they just went with his voice. And he didn't know until the premiere of the movie, I think, when he realized, like, that's me talking. Oh, shit.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, this has been A&J Hot Takes.
Yep. Can't wait to see what you all say about this one. Sorry for the fan base out there, but yeah.
It's going to be a knot.
That's where we stay.
All right. We'll see you in the next one.
See you guys.